brought forward.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Gazarovich, second Councillor Strang. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Before I ask the planner to present some information, and it's not, it's just an overview of what was brought up at the last meeting, I would like to just remind everybody that this is a continuation of the hearing from 2 weeks ago. We will not be hearing any old information. If you have something that has come up in the meantime, we can speak about that. All your comments and all your letters from 2 weeks ago have all been circulated to council, and the purpose of the meeting today is to hear new information only. If you start speaking and you start speaking about the old information, I will ask you to please discontinue, and we will try and move on. There are a few housekeeping rules. First of all, please silence your phones if you have one, because I know the last couple of public meetings we've had, I've had phones going off. And the only other thing that I wish to say is that Councillor Belanger, who is sitting on the far right here, will not be voting today. He was not at the public hearing 2 weeks ago, so he is unable to vote today, and he will have no comments to make on this application as he was not here for the public hearing. I think that is all. The last thing I have, and I have stated this before, is that I ask everybody to be respectful of council and each other. And if need be, I will stop the meeting until everybody can be respectful to each other and to members of council, to the applicant, to others in the audience. We do have some supporters, and I would ask that everybody be respectful of each other. So with that, I will ask the planner to provide just an overview of what transpired the last time. So go ahead, please, Derek.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, I'm just going to go over and just give a bit of a refresher on what we spoke about a couple of weeks ago. So this is conditional use application number 6 of 2024. It's for a property located on Ashfield Road to allow for a recreational commercial use, which is conditional, within the agricultural restricted zone. Specifically, what the applicant has proposed is to do a paintball facility, of what we heard last time, of some paintball and airsoft and some other types of related uses. Here's the subject property located just north of 44 and east of 59, right there on the corner, the air photo. You can sort of disregard those red squiggly lines, those are the highway control areas. So anything within there usually needs a permit or approval from highways. Here's what the applicant provided all of us, and what they shared at the last public hearing in terms of what they want to do is a large open area for the gaming area, and then towards the east of the property along Ashfield Road, having the parking and the proposed facility that they wish to construct. What we did recommend is that if council did wish to approve this, that there be a few conditions added, that it's limited to what's being proposed in this application, so any intensity or change in the application will have to come back for a new hearing. The applicant obtains all required permits for both our office and the municipality. That's a pretty standard condition. That they obtain a business license from the municipality, and that they submit a drainage plan to the municipality for review and acceptance. Of course, as always, council can add, rescind, modify, whatever conditions they wish to add on here. Just on a note that Mary already noted, this is a continuation of the hearing, and it's for new information only. I believe there was some information that came in a bit kind of last minute at the last hearing, and it was to provide the applicant with a chance to review that and give a rebuttal, as well as receive any new information that folks might want to submit. That's all I have on this, ma'am. Maybe I'll just go back to the applicant's site plan for a frame of reference there.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, before I open it up, can you go back to the picture before this, which was the highway control zones?
Yep.
Okay, now I'm looking at those red lines that you have on there that you stated were the highway control zones, and I guess that didn't come up at the hearing itself. my question would be, if the applicant was to put anything within those zones, he would have to seek permission and get approval from the Department of, am I?
What are they called now?
Yeah,
That's right.
I'm sure, from Highways Department.
That's right, it's anything from wanting to do a crossing and a culvert to even tree planting within those areas, like you need permission from highways, so they would have to seek out whatever permits and approvals from them. As part of this application, as we noted last time, we did circulate it to the Highways Department. We didn't receive any information from them, and we poked them again and still didn't receive any comments. So it would be incumbent upon them to obtain all required permits.
Okay, do members of council have anything for the planner? Go ahead, Councillor
Yes, sir.
Horbus.
So if this were to get approved or not approved, is it still dependent on when Highways gets back? Like say, some of the conditions that were asked for were trees planted, a fence planted. If Highways were to come back and say this wasn't acceptable, then what would happen to this application?
Highways would have ultimate say on anything that's within these areas, I'll say right along the highway. So they would have the ultimate say of what gets approved or not in that area. If you're talking about things along Ashfield, I don't foresee an issue there.
No, I'm talking about
But I think we heard about some, not fencing, but from the applicant, netting or something to stop from paintballs shooting out, that sort of thing. They'd have to obtain all required permits. Of course, it'd be up to Highways, but it's been our experience that if Highways has been pretty lenient or allowed for permits, especially if they're non-permanent kind of structures, especially if they're not habitable structures like a home. I haven't seen anything rejected from Highways in terms of like planting trees or anything like that. That can all come down pretty easily.
Signage could be a problem.
Signage, stuff like that, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I do have a couple of names on my list here, and please remember that we are only looking at new information today. If it's something that was discussed a couple of weeks ago, council has all that information. We have received all the letters that have come in. The ones that are listed on our agenda today, we also have those, and those where there are some letters of support and there are some letters of opposition, and they are from people that spoke at the public hearing 2 weeks ago. So we have all that information before us. So what I'm going to ask, if there's anybody in the audience in favor who wishes to present and wasn't able to, or has something new from the last meeting to present, and this would be in favor of the application. Can you please come forward and state your name?
Hi, my name is Trina Whiteside.
And I believe you sent in a letter of support. Have you got anything more than you wanted to add to that letter? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I thought it would be better to be verbal.
Okay, and you're gonna have to speak up so everybody can hear you, please.
Sorry.
Thank you.
My name is Trina Whiteside. We built our home at 395 Pat Street 25 years ago. I'm within a 3-kilometer radius of the property in question. My family are all in support of Mr. Thompson's conditional use application for Paintball Paradise. I'm one of the many area residents who signed the petition in support of the application, but I missed the address drop-down box area, as I know others will see, so I think it's showing up from up program. I drive by the property in question every day. As per the census report, the RM of St. Clement's average age population is 44 years old, and 80.3% are under the age of 65. The RM is a very active population. There have been very negative descriptions used for the variance applicant, which I've heard and I've read, including demoralizing, fire hazard, detrimental to health and welfare, gunfire, excess drinking, and more. If someone approached me with this on something I was not familiar with, I may also be in opposition, but these are misleading comments and biased opinions. Reality is that alcohol is not permitted or served, and which is strictly enforced due to repercussions for insurance. A staff member or referee monitors each game, ensuring rules and safety. My 19 and 22-year-old, along with my 52-year-old husband and older and younger relatives and friends, have played at Paintball Paradise throughout the years. My kids have not grown up to be violent, reckless alcohol delinquents. They're high-achieving, honor students and productive members of society. The clientele are people who appreciate challenging activities which promote teamwork, skill, cardio, accuracy, hiding, strategy, and just plain old fun. It's taking tag to a new level. Mr. Thompson does have an 80-acre outdoor site, which is only open for hosting very large reservations and special events. That site has no indoor play, no amenities, it's seasonal and way up highway number 6, so it's very limited for accessibility. Also, the vast property and outdoor venue is not suitable for younger players and those with a limited fitness level. This Asheville property is not in the picturesque, tranquil, park-like setting like the other areas of St. Clements. Being adjacent to a 4-lane highway interchange on 2 sides, many streetlights, outdoor rink with floodlights, which, by the way, my son visits and loves and meets all the community residents at. There's a field with a billboard and a large trailer used for advertising and commercial property with security lighting. So it's anything but. The applicant has presented a plan to ensure an appealing property. There are currently 9 CH zone properties within 1,500 meters of this Asheville property, which are all highly visible and identifiable when driving down 59 highway. It does not seem ethical to single out and deny this one business. Features on Mr. Thompson's proposal include a new building concealed by a tree canopy and fence to protect the view from the road for the closest residential property on the northeast side, which actually already faces a storage compound and is currently up for sale along with the adjacent A40 property. Mr. Thompson's plans also include a green space and picnic area. We've all heard that it's a temporary, where he's at right now, they're temporary props as he's saving funds to put extra money into elaborate props at the permanent site. The activity has been mainly attended on a reservation basis, limited to the number of games that can be held at the same time. This business does not have hundreds of vehicular traffic like Birds Hill Park, which is 9 kilometers south. It takes place indoor and outdoor. The indoor wouldn't be seen or heard. The RM has noise bylaws in place for all to abide. The current business is not open 7 days a week. It usually does not open until noon and is closed by 10. My letter provides the details on my opinions of traffic and noise. Right now, new roads are being constructed and exit onto Pioneer Road to accommodate another residential subdivision. Growth is not stopping, neither are the rezonings and variances. The latest subdivision is a short walk from us. The 4-acre lots are selling for $190,000. When we purchased our lot, it was $18,000. Property values are not depreciating. Instead, they are appreciating and have not been hindered due to local commercialization. Paintball Paradise is advertised on Tourism Winnipeg under Things to Do Recreation. If it was loud, reckless, violent, unsightly, unkept activity requiring police intervention, it would not be promoted by Winnipeg. It has been a respected company for many years within the city perimeter. People like to resist change, especially as we, myself included, get into a routine. Opposition may be louder than a supporter, but that doesn't mean it's right. Mr. Thompson is wanting to bring a new recreational activity and sport to our area, and we support him. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, I have another name on my list in favor. Larry Goritz, did you have anything new that you wanted to say? Because I believe you spoke at the meeting a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, I did. I'm the only one that's speaking? Oh.
Please remember, though, that we're only accepting new information. We have all the information from when you were here 2 weeks ago, so if you have something new you would like to tell council, that's fine. If we've heard it, I would have to ask you to have a seat then,
No, no problem.
okay?
I was wishing somebody else would have represented, okay. Well, first of all, let's talk about the positive. Last time I touched on that my grandkids and even my children played, which I don't understand. I can't see why working for me with playing and paying for it is different, but you gotta understand that if he isn't in the area, drugs are all over the place. If they're busy playing, they're not gonna be doing drugs. Right? When the gun shoots and they show their welt on their side and they're laughing, how they got it, you can see the smile on their face. I mean, they're busy, they're active, they're engaged. So it is a positive thing. It's maybe just a location, but it is a plus to have them in our area anywhere. Right. So on the negative side, and that's got to do with the planning ahead. And every time we cross paths, it seems to be in fire. First of all, that's an agriculture zoned area, and he puts it in May in seeding time. And crop insurance has set him straight how valuable every hour is right now. They have it down to the science on it, how much it has cost me to be here. It's very bad for you to do this to me. Number two, when I look at that.
Excuse me, Mr. Gore.
Yeah, I know.
It's not his fault that you're here today.
I know.
So if,
It's the meeting, he picked his day. Picked the day, I did.
no, council picked this day because when an application is made, whether it be for a conditional use or a variation order, they accept the application, they have a calendar where they have to do this in so many days, so the original hearing was 2 weeks ago, and because there was so much information and other things needed to be looked at, we asked that it come back to council today. That was council's decision. That has nothing to do with the planning office. That was council's decision to reconvene today to continue the hearing for new information that was not heard 2 weeks ago.
Fine enough. I think he proposed it, but it's okay. Doesn't matter. The other thing is, if I'm correct, and the English is correct, this is the only double 4-lane crossing in Manitoba. Automatically, all 4 corners should have been zoned RTEC agriculture. If you're going with a Super B and coming on and off this highway, what you're saying now, say a Flying J is a 15% growth factor. This corner is going to have a Flying J in it sometime. Where are you going to put it? If you put it at half mile, all the Super Bs are going to be crossing the highway, and little Johnny is going to be underneath him. So this decision today has got a kill rate attached to it. Do you have place for a Flying J? I know of 2 are really busy looking for this corner. 2 outfits. And if you use up all, you've already given the houses right up tight on the one corner. Even the one, it should never have been, those houses should never have been there. It should have been RTEC only, the 20-acre corners. It should not be houses, especially not houses. They're too valuable. You only got one in Manitoba like this, any art. Like you lose that. Where are you going to go to another cloverleaf a mile over or a mile down the road? The planning is very, very poor. The loops on and off, when you go with the semi-chair on and off, are very, that you stay right, you're not crossing the highway and take the cloverleaf, you go around, and you're not crossing the paths of any cars at 100 kilometers an hour. I've done it with Super Bs, and those cars don't want to slow down. And to give this corner away, And I'm sorry,
Mr. Goretz, before you go any further, when I called your name, it was to speak in favor. Now you're going way
No,
off
no.
topic about the trucks and everything else.
No, but I'm just saying the differences.
Well, I think we all have a good idea of what you were proposing and what you wanted to say about the traffic and the big trucks in the area. Over time, things do change. At one time, there was a lot of agriculture there. If you look to the south and to the east of this property, there is a lot of residential now. And I think that we're gonna have to move on unless you have something a little bit more related to this application to share with us.
That's more or less all I want to say, because
Okay.
if you lose the corners, you're going to be cornered later on. It's not going to go away. That's what I'm more or less saying.
Okay, thank you very much then.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, I do not have any other names on my list here, but I will open it up. And if you are presenting new information, I will let you come up to the podium and speak. If this is not to rehash anything that was brought up 2 weeks ago. So is there anyone in the audience who wishes to bring us some new information regarding this application? Okay, it doesn't appear that anybody is putting up their hand. I will ask the applicant if you want to bring some new information forward for council's consideration at this point in time, or address anything that has been brought forward.
Yeah, I would, like to thank you for your time, first, thank you, council. I would like to quickly just address some of the letters that have been submitted since the last meeting. Seems to be a heavy focus on our traffic use. I just want to say for the record that right now we have our access onto the perimeter highway with no acceleration lane. There's been some comments and concerns about what might be, what our impact might be on the current access to Ashfield. I can say that it is 1,000 times better than what we currently deal with, and we've had zero problems thus far because our traffic volumes are so small. So I don't know how to further convey this to people. Traffic will not be an issue. The only other thing I would like to say, I appreciate Mr. Whiteside speaking in favor. I would like to reiterate though that my location in St. Laurent is not a location that I own. It is an 80-acre leased property that came with when I purchased the business from previous ownership. I do not know that that location will be there for me long term as he is developing campgrounds. So that's not really reliable at that point. Hence why I'm trying to acquire land for my operations. But that's all the comments that I have for today. Open to any questions that council might have.
Okay, thank you for that. You can have a seat. It doesn't look like anybody's putting up their hands. So any questions from council to the planner at this point in time? Okay, if there is nothing else from the planner or from members of council, I will ask for a resolution to close the public hearing for conditional use number 6 of 2024.
Resolve the public hearing for conditional use 6 of 2024 be closed and the regular session of council be reconvened.
Moved by Councillor Spicer, second Councillor Horbis. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, I will ask.
No, it is not.
Okay, if council is ready to deal with this application, I will ask our CAO to read the resolution for this application.
Whereas the applicant, owner of tax roll number 249875, a property legally described as Lot 4, Plan 71535, and located at Ashfield Road, has made application for conditional use 6 of 2024 in order to allow for recreation, commercial, business in an AR agriculture restricted zone. Therefore, be it resolved, conditional use application number 6 of 2024 be approved with the following conditions. 1, that the conditional use approval be limited to what is proposed within this application. Any changes in use or expansion will require a new conditional use approval. 2, applicant owner obtains all required permits and approvals including but not limited to those from Red River Planning District and the municipality, if applicable. 3, the applicant owner obtains a business license from the Arm of St. Clements. 4, the applicant owner submits a drainage plan to the Arm of St. Clements for review and acceptance. 5, applicant owner to submit a detailed site plan for review and approval by council before the commencement of operations. The site plan must include but not limited to detailed layouts of the playing field, parking area, structures, and landscape features. 6, applicant owner enter into a development agreement with the Arm of St. Clements to address items included but not limited to, if required, fencing and sound attenuation. Specifically, the business shall install a 6-foot wood fence on the east side of the property adjacent to the residential development to serve as a barrier for sound attenuation. The design and materials of the fencing must be such that they effectively minimize noise pollution. 2, dust control. The business must implement a dust control plan for the road accessing the property to minimize dust effects on neighboring properties. This plan should include a regular maintenance and treatment of the road surface with improved dust suppressants to ensure compliance with the RM's standard for public health and comfort. 3, lighting. Lighting for the playing fields and or parking area should face into the property and at a height angle that does not project onto neighboring properties. Operational lighting should also follow suit with the hours of operation and business. Hours of operation, the hours of operation of business shall be set so that it is not to conflict with the RM's noise bylaw. The business may operate from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., ensuring all activities cease sufficiently before the noise curfew begins.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, second, please. Councillor Bazarowicz. Please remember, Councillor Boulanger will not be voting on this as he was not here for the original public hearing. Are there any other questions from members of council? Hearing and seeing none, I have a mover, I have a seconder, and I will call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried.
Wow, that's
Oh my
unbelievable.
God. Yes, we don't count.
No. Unreal. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we can give, Madam Mayor, we can give a couple of minutes to let anybody that wants to leave, and anyone that wants to stay, stay. And we'll move on to the rest of the meeting.
Thank you for that.
Wow.
Did you explain to us why and
Yeah.
why you agree?
I think council has made their decision. You've heard the good dialogue on this. This is not the time to go through that debate at this point.
You don't even know
Thank
what's the
you.
reason?
You don't care
You're one
if
of the
people
reasons
live
why
so
we
close to this?
Shame on you guys.
Yeah, you guys will never get back in. Horses,
Shame
yeah,
on you. Shame on
unbelievable.
you.
Unbelievable.
The Minister of
Being
Health,
paid off.
the Minister of our
Being
Health
paid off.
will be hearing about this.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Everyone else is good in the evidence.
Some kind of a backdoor deal going on here.
That's inappropriate. Basically, the decision's been made.
Oh, I thought you guys passed a resolution after, but usually as to why you made that decision. What happened at once.
No, only when it's denied.
Yeah,
That's
only
correct.
when it's denied, we have to pass another resolution giving reasons for denial.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
You win. I don't know if I did yet.
So now he's gonna go over there.
It's better to consult the talk to them. You want me to shut the camera?
Well, there I'll go.
Thank you, council.
Thank you.
Thanks,
See you, Derek.